Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
Operation Perfect, and the Buccaneers with a Christmas gift to their fans. An overtime victory from down 10 with 10 minutes to go.
Mike Tirico trying to make it as exciting as possible on this Christmas day. That certainly was a present for Buccaneers fans, but the ghost of Christmas future looms for your Buccaneers, as even if they make the playoffs, which is still not for certain, it's not going to be a pretty ride in this postseason. Good morning and Merry Christmas to you. Hope you guys had a great holiday weekend. Still enjoying it. Glad you're joining us to talk a little Buccaneers football here as we will dissect this Christmas day. You know, as I say good morning to my good friend Nick Geddes here from Outsider.com, this kind of feels like that present under your tree that you thought was something really good, and it turns out to be a toothbrush or an air fryer. Well, actually, air fryer would be pretty.
No, I would love
nice.
an air fryer right now. But no, you hit the nail on the head with the toothbrush. I can definitely attest to that today.
Isn't it kind of feel like that? It's like, wow, and I really, for some ridiculous reason, and maybe it was just, too many eggnogs, I thought that the Bucs would finally find something on this Christmas day, that they would finally wake up and call the right plays and do the right things, and Brady would be sharp offensively against a very bad football team with nothing to play for. This was the opportunity, right? You still have something to play for. You can still salvage this season. You can go out and make a statement to the nation on Christmas Day that, you know what, the Bucs have been bad all year, but this is our time. And it's getting down to crunch time for the playoffs. And who's better at crunch time than Tom Brady, who proved it again yesterday? But unfortunately, it was the ghost of Christmas past. It was the same old terrible Buccaneers team, and Tom Brady with his inimitable way that he can pull out games when they seem absolutely dead. And he did it again. And the Bucs win 19-16 to keep their hopes alive. It's almost like, keeping the resuscitator going when there's no hope for this patient.
I was going to
There's
say,
no hope.
Why would you get your hopes up on Christmas Day that this was going to happen? I don't care what. It doesn't matter what team they're playing. It doesn't matter what quarterback is on the opposing team. It doesn't matter when it is, where it is. It don't matter.
Well, I had a good Christmas day, in the morning.
I did too.
Little kids were great.
I did too, but
then
I knew this team.
See my daughter, and I'm like,
great.
I had a great Christmas. I'm like, well, the Bucs they're just going to cap it off here tonight with a great showing.
No. Even in a victory,
I've been good all year not to get sucked in.
Yeah, no. You got sucked in on the wrong day.
I did
because I knew the Bucs were going to let me down on Christmas Day. I just knew it was going to happen. And even in a victory, it doesn't matter. Did they win the game?
It doesn't matter. I hate to be Ebenezer Scrooge here, but it just
literally. I was thinking this morning.
It just confirms more of the same.
I hate to say this, like for a franchise that has had so much difficulty winning football games, save about 7-ish years of the franchise's history, I feel weird coming in here on a Monday and complaining and acting like it's not that big of a deal that this team won a football game in December, a meaningful one, by the way.
Right.
But I would just be spinning just false hope for everybody.
Yeah.
Because this team is going nowhere. We know this. This is who they are. This is who they are. They have been wilted down to needing a Tom Brady miracle to win football games. How do I know that?
Really bad football.
How do I know that? Because that's happened in 4 of their 7 wins this year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's and so much of it is, well, is it Brady's fault? Yes. Is it Leftwich's fault? Yes. Is it Jason Light's fault? Yes. Is it Bruce Arians' fault? Yes. Is it the Glazers? Yes. Yes to everything. Yes, we've dismantled what was a pretty damn good football team. And, yeah, I understand there's injuries, and it's not the same team that won the Super Bowl. I get that. But, folks, they are playing horrific football. I mean, and it's you just can't sit there and go, well, they won the game, so what are you so pissed off about? First of all, I'm not pissed. Emotionally, it doesn't really bother me. What really bothers me is how much better this team should be. And just the elementary mistakes that they make time and time again. And by the way, every team goes through injuries. Every team has different personnel. That's the nature of the NFL. It changes every year.
Including the team they were playing, by the way.
Including the team they were playing. It was down to their third-string quarterback, was 4-10 coming into the game, had nothing to play for, one of the worst defenses in football, and an offense, obviously, that's built around Kyler Murray that didn't have Kyler Murray. I mean, you can't get a better layup on Christmas Day. I mean, LeBron James with nobody past half court. That's how easy this game was, and you still almost blew the layup. You almost blew the layup.
Yeah, and by the way, you mentioned the Cardinals, the worst scoring defense in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
In the entire NFL, so bad that in the last 2 weeks, the Brett Rippon Broncos were able to score 24 against them.
Mm-hmm.
And the Mac Jones.
How many?
24 points.
Brett Rippon, 24.
Brett Rippon.
Right.
And the Mac Jones offensive coordinator less
don't even have one,
Patriots
which might
scored
be
27.
Maybe Belichick's onto something. Because clearly the Bucs are better without an offensive coordinator. When they go no huddle, do you realize that I think they had nine drives? If I'm not mistaken, 9 drives. I'll have to go back through the chart where they didn't score any points, and they had 5 drives where they scored points. 4 or 5 drives, and 4 of the 5 were no huddle.
I'm not shocked.
I mean,
we have all this data to go off of in every game. What's the gap between their regular offense and their no huddle offense? What's the gap?
Miles. And it's like, it's not, again, people say, well, you can't run a no huddle offense all the time. Yeah, you can, actually.
The Bucs prove that you can.
You can. And it's not necessarily a hurry up offense. You just no huddle. You don't allow substitutions, and defensive players can't get on and off the field. You have the same personnel, and the Bucs don't really trade a lot of personnel. They don't have a lot of personnel to trade. And we'll get into the Rachaad White, Leonard Fournette. For those of you who think Leonard Fournette had such a great day, we got news for you on that.
Take the blinders off.
Yeah, take the freaking blinders off.
Don't look at the box score.
What are you honestly, and I love Lenny. I love me some playoff Lenny. Love the dude. The dude's got so much heart. I mean, I love the heart on this cat. He is, but I'm telling you, he may be now a donut shy of 260. He is huge. I mean, he's big, and he is so slow. He is so slow. And Rachaad White is so fast. I won't say so fast, but the dude is quick. He starts and stops, and he does what running backs should do. If Rachaad White got the 30 touches that Leonard Fournette got yesterday, he'd have had 300 yards. I swear to God. The first few runs, he rips off an 18-yard. He's just gliding. He's gliding. And then we don't see him.
And what did he do to get benched?
I have no idea.
What did he do?
I have no idea. I got to find out today. Hopefully I can get over to the press conference because everything was so short afterwards. They really didn't ask any game management type questions, which was really weird because there were a lot of game management issues in this game that we're going to get into. But no, Rachaad White is clearly the better player. And there's no way Fournette scores on that play that Rachaad White scored on. No way, because he barely got to the pylon.
And I'd argue on the 44-yard run that he had or receiving, whatever. I bet that Rachaad White houses that.
Oh yeah. And we're not. And don't get me wrong. I'm not banging on Leonard Fournette at all.
It just is what it is.
It's just why would you? And let's just go to short yardage. What is Rachaad White? 13 for 14 on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1?
Yeah.
Or some ridiculous number. And Lenny, this was a few weeks ago. Lenny was like 3 for 17. Now 3 for 50, whatever it is. 3 straight runs into the middle of that's what you got. And then the last one, it's not even, it's ridiculous how bad the play calling is there. Nothing to get you out. You run up, you run in these same stupid tight formations where everybody knows where you're going with the slowest running back maybe in football. And you somehow think that you're going to somehow blow the other team off the line when your offensive line hasn't done that all year long. I mean, what type of, and you're going to run with the back that cannot get short yardage. Yeah. And I said it on Twitter. This coaching staff refuses to hurt anybody's feelings. Well, this is Leonard's drive, so we got to let him take all the. You don't bring in a guy for a situation, right? He's the much better. The numbers tell you, a short yardage guy, because his vision is better. He's quicker to the line. Whatever it is, he's better. Like from a number standpoint, I get analytics and all that sometimes can be shady. This is not shady. This is as fact-driven as everything. And you're not going to pull one guy out and put another guy in. They already know what you're going to do. So it's not like you're telegraphing what you're going to do. You're going to do it anyway. So why not get the better runner in there? Because you're going to hurt Lenny's feelings by putting him out. He's going to have a temper tantrum on the sideline. Who gives a crap? Are you kidding me? How do you not take him out in that situation?
And on those 3 runs, by the way, I mean, first of all, I don't even care if it's Rachaad White. I'm not doing 3 straight halfback dives, the same play behind that offensive line, trying to play bully ball when you're getting pushed off the line the entire game. And J.J. Watt's been a game wrecker early on. There's no logic there. There's no logic there at all. And number 2, and they did it like 2 drives later and it worked. You have the greatest quarterback sneaker of all time.
Which when they finally went to it, it was pretty
worked.
Good. It worked pretty good.
You can't stop it. Yeah. I don't understand. Yeah. I don't understand. I don't know if it's Tom that's saying I don't want to do this right now. I don't know if it's Byron saying I don't understand what's going on, quite frankly, but it's stuff like that. That moment in that game, I just sit here and question myself. I'm like, do they want to win? Do they want to win these games?
I don't know.
There's like multiple moments throughout a game where I'm asking myself, does this coaching staff want to win?
Yeah, it kind of looks like they're tanking.
And then Todd Bowles Did you catch the Todd Bowles interview coming out of half? The what was it, Michelle Tafoya or whoever it is?
Yeah, Melissa Stark.
And what's the key to getting back in this? Well, we got to run the ball more. I'm going to say it again. You are the worst running team of the last 50 years in the NFL. Under no circumstance, and I don't care if Tom Brady's playing bad because he is, under no circumstance is running the football the key to you winning a football game. Under no circumstance, this team, under no circumstance. 30 touches for Leonard Fournette.
Mm-hmm.
We can't get Mike Evans the ball. We can't get Chris Godwin the ball. We can't get Julio Jones the ball. But we can get Leonard Fournette 30 touches in a game and have 6 points with 8 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Yeah. That's what that got you.
Yeah. Again, if you're sitting there today going, Leonard Fournette was your best player. Well, he had 9 catches for 90 yards, but one of those was the 44-yard screen play.
Skewed.
It's skewed. And by the way, we all know that Rachaad White is the much better pass catcher. So if you're going to be jumping it down all day, why do you not have him in there? And you say, well, he's not a great blocker. He's a good enough blocker. And he's much more dangerous out of the backfield, so he doesn't really need to block. Just get him the damn ball in space and let him work. Fournette, it carried the ball 20 times for 72 yards. That's a 3.6 average. Rachaad White carried it 7 for 36 yards. That's a 5.1 average. Can you do the math on that? Can you do the math on that, folks? I hope you can, because that's a significant difference. So again, I love Lenny, but you got to spread that out a little bit more, a lot more, and be more consistent with him. So while we're talking about game management, key point in the game, late third quarter, the Cardinals are driving. This is right before they got their touchdown. I want to get this to the exact point. And McSorley runs the ball, okay? And he's tackled clearly behind, at least 1.5 yards behind the first down marker. Now, listen, first and foremost, how the hell the ref spots the ball a full 1.5 yards ahead of where he's tackled, I have no idea. We had multiple spotting issues yesterday with the football. I just don't understand. That's as elementary to football officiating as there is. How you can spot a ball a clear 1.5 yards and it wasn't even close. It wasn't like there was a forward progress thing here at all. McSorley was literally pulled back from behind. He had to get, I think, to the 31 or to the 29, and he didn't even pass the 30-yard line. And from the get-go, from the vantage point of the viewer, you could see McSorley was tackled behind the 30. And I may be getting the yard lines wrong, but this is the basic thing. It was anybody on TV could see you that was not a first down. And then the next play, or the next 2 plays, they rip off a touchdown run. So that's how critical this call was. You have to challenge that. Todd Bowles is just sitting there with his arms crossed, doing nothing. Like, dude, this is your main job as a head coach. And maybe because he's thinking of what the defensive call is next, and he doesn't even think that he should challenge the spot, somebody has to get into his ear immediately and go, we got to challenge that spot. That's not even close. Not even close. They totally effed it up. Somebody's got to be in his ear. This is a complete failure of the coaching staff. And a lot of people aren't writing about it, aren't talking about it. And the next play, they score a touchdown and go up 10 points.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a huge play in the game. Worst case, you slow down the momentum, get your guys rested, and maybe they're ready for that next play that Connor doesn't walk in. Whatever it is, what should happen in that situation is you challenge it. Now it's 4th down, and they've got to make it. They're probably going to go to Prater. They're probably going to go kick the field goal at that point.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are we doing? That is game management 101. How are you not challenging that?
He's failed in every facet of game management this year.
Every facet.
Every single facet. He gets an F for me. He's asleep at the wheel. That's
Totally
what it looks like.
asleep
He
at the
just
wheel.
looks like he's asleep at the wheel. He's
Totally
just
asleep
walking
at the
around,
wheel.
not
Yep.
even really walking around. He's just kind of looking
Standing
around,
arms
standing there.
crossed.
And listen,
There was a little more facial expression yesterday.
there were
yeah.
some moments where it looked like he wanted to come unglued and he didn't.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not asking him to be something he's not. It's just I'm just looking.
You got to be engaged.
You just got to be engaged.
You got to know what's going on.
You're the head coach.
Yeah.
You are not the defensive. You're the de facto defensive coordinator, but you are the head coach of this football team. And that's a big play in that moment because when they went down by 2 scores late in the game, did anybody have any confidence they were going to pull that back out?
Oh, and if they don't fumble the ball, which was an unforced error, the
you
Bucs
know
lose
what?
the game.
You know
Let's
what?
just be honest.
You know what though?
Completely.
Let's give the Bucs credit because they have not been picking up those balls off the ground all year, and they did it twice. They did it twice.
We're gonna fill up their stocking with great stocking stuffers because they fell.
That was a stocking.
They fell on a football.
That was a stocking stuffer.
They fell on a football.
They fell
that was
on
at
a
their
football,
feet.
and Devin White was able to scoop one up. I was so scared he was
That
going
was a great play.
Devin White runs so fast. I was so scared he was going to overrun it, and that Cardinals guy was going to take it, and something bad was going to happen. But he scooped it up perfectly.
Picked it up,
so stocking stuffers. Let's give him credit there.
Okay.
For making those plays.
Okay.
But let's not give him too much of a big head, though.
Anthony Nelson got the strip sack.
Anthony Nelson, I mean, talk about Christmas gift of all Christmas gifts. He comes in unblocked.
Nobody blocked.
But at least he actually went after the ball.
Yeah, unlike Keanu Neal, he actually stripped the ball when nobody blocked him and he was coming from the blind side. He actually stripped the ball.
Yes.
So that was good. That was an improvement. You're right. It's so basic, bro. It is so.
That's what I'm grasping at.
The most basic things that we celebrate that they get right. It's crazy. And I know we're probably not in the holiday spirit by downgrading this win, but it's just awful on so many levels. And can we talk about the 3rd and 3 late in the game, 3rd and 3, you're going to hand the ball off. Not only are you handing the ball off to your slowest running back in Leonard Fournette, but we're going to do it out of the shotgun formation where he's standing still and he doesn't even have forward momentum. And we're going to somehow believe that our linemen are going to hold their blocks for 3 counts so he can get back to the line of scrimmage because that's how long it's going to take for him to get back to the line of scrimmage. So he's going to run 8 yards against the stacked box on 3rd and 3. He has to go 5 yards. I mean, come on. And how does Brady not check out of that play?
And that's what I want to know on that play. And even the times where they went 3 runs in a row on, 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, 4th and inches, whatever. I'm not asking you to audible at every play.
Yeah, he almost has to. Maybe that's what he's doing. He's already checking out of 50, 60% of the plays, and it's like at some point you got to let the play caller have a play. I don't know.
We haven't even gotten into the Brady conversation yet because we're getting there, but no. In general, he just looks. It's just odd. He's doing things like not checking out of these obvious awful calls in these moments and not taking more control. It's just what is going on here? Like, and it just doesn't make any sense that this team, it's like it waits to get down 2 scores. And then now all of a sudden the things that make them really successful,
no huddle,
they're forced into doing.
Yeah.
Why are you being forced into doing what you do well? And then you end up doing it well and not using that and saying, hey, let's do that like normally now.
Well, and again, forced into it. After the 40-yard play, I think Fournette pulls himself out of the game. And they put Rashad White in. So only by Fournette being gassed did we have Rashad White in there on that 3rd down touchdown play. Because I'm going to tell you, Fournette does not score on that play.
Probably not.
He's just not quick enough to get to the corner. By the way, love the play call. It was a pick of sorts where they the 2 tight ends go in and kind of muck it up and get Rashad White out in the flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and get me 2-9. Like Brady had to call him off the bench. In the win over the Saints, right? To get me 2-9.
Yeah.
It's
look at
incompetence.
Look at the snap count here. Leonard Fournette got 49 touches or 49 snaps in this game, and Rashad White only got 29.
And Rashad White started the game.
And he started the game.
Yeah, I want to know, why did he sit for the entire first and second and into the third quarter before he touched the ball again? Why? What did he do?
I can't.
Did he miss a block? Did he miss a block? Okay. Well, everybody's making mistakes out there.
Yeah.
And this team is so devoid of speed on offense, so devoid of any explosiveness, and you're going to continue to play, dump truck Lenny. He runs like a dump truck.
Yeah, and again, it makes there's zero consistency here. Like, we've been calling for K. Dotton to get now. K. Dotton, by the way, had a rough game.
He did.
He had a very rough game, and he did that getting I think he got a season high 68 snaps, and Cam Brate only got 8.
Well, that's the way it should be.
That's the way it should be. But I got to be honest,
expose him to making more mistakes.
Yeah, more mistakes. But he got 7 targets in this game, holding 2 for 12. Not good. He was a liability in the run blocking, in the pass blocking game as well.
Yeah,
but just the fact that that discrepancy there is so large, and then you go to like Leonard Fournette and Rashad White, and again, like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, it's a lot of bad. It's a lot of bad. All right, before we listen, we're going to listen to Coach Bowles and Tom Brady, both very brief in their Christmas addresses to the nation. Brady from the get-go. I mean, they're running the ball with Rashad White. Then they call for a screen pass to K. Dotton, and he misses K. Dotton on a screen pass. It looked very well blocked. I think he gets at least the first down.
Threw a rocket at him. Yeah.
And he just, I don't know what that was. Like, how, I mean, he's the king of the touch pass, and he misses K. Dotton in the screen pass. And on the next play, Julio Jones is uncovered. He's uncovered in the end zone. Like, only some guy, late rushing to him was within 5 yards. But from the get-go, there was nobody on him. How does Brady miss him? How does he miss him on that play?
It's pitch and catch. It's pitch and catch. Literally.
It's a 20-yard throw. There's no pressure. How in God's name does he miss him?
Schemed up perfectly too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's schemed up. Somebody doesn't cover somebody. I would call that a coverage bust.
Whatever it was.
Yeah. But it's there for you.
How many examples of this on the first drive where the Bucs have had chances to score? I mean, the Mike Evans game against Carolina, where he drops one wide open, that could have changed that game. What was the one a couple weeks ago against San Francisco, right? Where they scored and then it got taken back?
Yep. Called back.
Yeah,
Julio Jones touchdown.
On the first drive.
Yep.
Julio Jones touchdown. I mean, does this team lead the league in touchdowns called back?
Has to.
It's every game. Every game. But even more alarming, it's on the first drive of the game, where, to the Bucs' credit, they usually seem on the first drive like they were able to get down there, and then everything stalls, right? Yeah. And they always end up with a field goal, and then they proceed to go the next 50 minutes of doing absolutely nothing on offense. It's boring.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like, again, these are small plays, and I know that some people don't believe in that theory. Well, if they score there, doesn't guarantee anything. But momentum, feeling good about yourself.
Especially when you have a team that's out of it.
Yeah,
you go up 14-0 on that team, and they quit.
Yes.
They just quit.
I mentioned it looked like Arizona is just like dying to get to the end of the season.
Of course they are.
They're just like, oh, we're tired of this. It's Christmas Day. We got to play.
And we let them, the Bucs let them hang around. And then the crowd gets into it. It's Christmas Day. Oh, hey, Tom Brady's here. Let's go ahead and win the football game.
But this is who they are.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people were saying yesterday, the Bucs have such a great skill to let bad teams hang around. It takes one to know one. It takes one. That's all I'm saying. This is a bad football team.
It's a bad.
Ignore this. 7 and 8 may seem like it's average.
It's not even average.
It's not even average.
Worse than
this
average.
Team's bad, and this is a bad division that they're lucky. I can't believe they're in first place still. Oh my goodness.
We're first place team.
Oh my goodness. They're playing for the division next week.
Yeah.
But
and by the way, and we'll get into that a little bit later on.
Yeah.
By the way, the Panthers ran for 320 yards.
The poor Lions.
Saturday. How many are they going to run for against the Bucs?
With Chuba Hubbard and Blackshear and Deonta Foreman.
Oh my God! And they ran for 173 against the Bucs in the first game.
Yep.
So we'll get into that in a little bit. But that's But all right, so back to Brady. At one point of the fourth quarter, so late third or fourth quarter, they put up a stat. He was 0 for passes 20 yards down the field. He was 0 for 4 with 2 picks. And one of the 0 for 4s was, I'm guessing, the miss to Julio Jones.
Yep.
So
I can tell you the 4 right now. It was the miss to Julio Jones.
Mm-hmm.
The one to Scotty Miller, which was a non-competitive throw.
God, that was so bad.
And then the 2 picks to Mike Evans. There you go.
Yeah. And I hear, Chris Collinsworth saying last night, Brady's arm is as good as it's ever been. I don't know what tape he's watching. Now, at times he can make some stick throws, but just in general, I've never seen Brady this inaccurate on deep balls all year long. It's just this is the first time, and you can still, he still has, I think, velocity in his arm, but what goes first is the accuracy, the touch. It's almost like he's having to muscle up to throw the ball deep. And when you try to muscle up to throw the ball deep, you're completely inaccurate. It's what Jameis used to do. We just try to muscle up and throw it. Your arm has to be strong enough so it's kind of like a golf swing. What happens when you overswing? Everything goes crazy, right? Your accuracy is horrible. And, and the throwing of the football is a lot like the golf swing. It's the turning of the hips and the timing of the shoulders coming through and the flicking of the wrist and everything. It's the same thing as a golf swing. And when you're trying to muscle it, your accuracy is going to be off. And that's what he's doing right now. I don't know if he's injured or what it is, but he is just so inaccurate on the deep ball.
I think he is.
Yeah. And this is a huge part of why the offense is so bad, because everybody knows he can't throw the ball. Remember when at the end of Drew Brees' career, the Bucs knew that he could not throw the ball more than 30, 35 yards, and they just compressed up, and you just smother them. And that's what's happening to this. That's why they don't have a run game. It's why they don't have a passing game, because they're just getting smothered by the defense.
And that's why there's no Mike Evans in this offense.
Exactly.
Because this is not Mike's game. Yeah. Mike's game is on those 15 to 25 yard routes.
You got to have at least 2.5 to 3.5 seconds to get Mike the football, and he never.
And when they're open,
he never has that time or doesn't trust the protection to give him that time. So it's the same.
And when they're open, the first one, there was pressure in his face. Now he didn't get hit as he threw, but there was definitely pressure which altered the throw, and he threw it. He said he threw it early. Mike just didn't turn around, didn't see it, whatever.
Right.
The second one, to me, again, if we're looking for signs of regression, these are things that Tom Brady doesn't do. Chris Collinsworth broke it down really well in the replay. Mike Evans is wide open heading towards that sideline on Marco Wilson. And Brady just is completely he sees him, he's looking at him, but for whatever reason, he didn't let it go. He double clutched and waited till Mike was
I'll tell you why.
Barely open anymore.
I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because Mike's been crappy on his routes. He doesn't trust where Mike's going to be. He doesn't. Their chemistry is so off that he had to wait to see where Mike was going to break.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you go back and look at a lot of these misconnections with Mike Evans, Mike's route running right now is awful. It has regressed tremendously. I think I don't know what's going on with those guys, but Mike is just,
the connection's getting worse.
Well, he's reverted to a lot of things he did as a younger player when he didn't get his head around in time. He's getting caught up in the hand fighting with the other players instead of running his routes. In the last couple of years, he really came off that. It really got better at a lot of different things, but I'm seeing a lot of that regression back to it because I think he's lost trust in Brady. Brady's lost trust in him. And that's a perfect example of what happens is that he wasn't quite sure when he was going to break that off. And he held it for a second, allowed Marco Wilson to get back into the throwing lane because the throw was actually on target. But it was late.
Yeah, it was late.
Yeah. And you just can't do that.
Yeah, you let the shoe tosser pick him up twice.
Twice.
Crazy. The 102nd ranked corner in the NFL, by the way.
Yeah. It's just, and this is to say that so much of this is, I keep saying it's fixable, but is it? There's something wrong with Brady's arm. Whatever it is, he's just not delivering the ball.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that makes no sense. What happened in overtime? When he went 6 for 6, he made the really good throw to Mike on the sideline.
Yep.
He made the really good anticipation throw to Russell Gage, which credit to him. He looks a lot better every single week, and he knew he was going to get popped, and he hung on.
Yep.
He makes those throws late in the game when they count.
Yeah.
That's what I can't figure out. It's like we're trying to say, there's regression here, but late in the game when he's got to have it, he makes every throw.
Yeah, he does. So
I can't figure this out. I can't figure this out.
A lot of those throws though in the 2 minute are quick throws. Even and the defense. I think he also understands that the defensive line gets tired, and in the 2 minute in the no huddle they can't sub out. Specifically some of these older guys like JJ Watt.
Yeah.
They can't sub out, so they get after about 3 or 4 downs of rushing the passer, they're gassed. So he gets a little bit more time. I think he trusts his protection a little bit more. He steps into the throw, and he's more accurate.
Yeah.
So there are a myriad of reasons why they're so much better in 2
but-
minutes. It takes the Byron Leftwich factor out of it for the most part.
I agree with you, though. Like the touchness of his passes, that's to me what's alarming. There was another play, too. I can't remember if it was in the second quarter or third quarter, but you might remember it. I think it was a 3rd and short situation, and he had Russell Gage to his left.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if Russell Gage broke his route too quick or whatever. There was a I don't know.
Yeah.
All I saw was the throw was a rocket when it probably didn't need to be, and it was behind Russell Gage.
Yep.
And he kind of slipped and fell. I mean, those are plays, and Chris said it on the broad. He started laughing. He's like, "This is LeBron James missing a layup."
Yeah, it's a layup.
I mean, I just can't. I mean, another one too to Cade Otton was a short one early in the game. Everybody's saying, "Well, Cade's got to catch that." I mean, the ball's behind him. He's moving. There's a guy kind of on him. I mean, these throws, just the placement of them. Yeah. He's really not giving these guys much to work with here.
Oh, and again, we've talked so much about this year. Brady's superpowers are, because he has so many limitations, but what he's great as is pregame preparation and being more prepared than anybody else. Well, clearly that's taken a hit this year with all the off the field problems. Okay. Preparing for the season. Like he just wasn't prepared for the season, clearly, mentally, emotionally, whatever. So that's one of his superpowers that's, been a chink in the armor there. His accuracy, especially on the deep ball throws, right? That's something that he's made a living off of, right? He just doesn't have it this year. He doesn't have it. Even in the shorter throws, sometimes it's like it's a rocket. And guys, that's not a catchable ball. No. If you're throwing it as hard as you can, especially Brady, from 10 yards away, it's not a catchable ball. It's just not. And you have to be aware of that. And obviously, he's the greatest thrower of the football in the history of the game. Well, maybe I won't say that, but he's in terms of all the passing records, they're all there. And so much of that is because of his accuracy and his timing and anticipation. That's not there this year. So all these things that Brady has done so well over his career, his superpowers that makes him better than everybody else, he's been average at best at all of those things. And then you limit the fact that he can't run. You have no off schedule plays that are going to get you yards, which you look around the league, 50-60% of the long plays are off schedule throws, getting out of the pocket, making things happen. He doesn't bootleg. They don't let him bootleg. He very rarely rolls out. I mean, so you have all these limitations. So he's got to be great at what he does, and he's not. He hasn't been. So you're working, and this is why this is one of the worst offenses in football. And everybody keeps saying, well, you got Tom Brady. This ain't the same Tom Brady. And I'm not saying it's all his fault. That's not what I'm saying. Again, for the billionth time, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you're as limited as Brady is in the other things that you can do, like other offenses say, okay, we're not good at this today. Let's get the bootleg game going. Let's get the RPO game going. Let's get the zone read game going. We had all these other options. You don't have that with Brady. You have no other option but to drop back and throw. Let's get the running game going. Well, you don't have that option either if you're the Buccaneers. This is why this offense is so bad. And so what do you do to change it? Like, how do you change this? What is the formula? There's not a whole hell of a lot you can do except hope that Brady starts to play better and the offensive line starts to play better.
Yeah, and here's the thing. They can lollygag 50 minutes in a game. The defense can play lights out against a limited quarterback.
We got to talk about the defense. They played well.
And you can survive and all that, and he can have magic at the end. Ryan Sucker can hit his kicks. But against the really good teams that they've had to play this year, Kansas City, San Francisco, Cincinnati, and I'm comparing you to these teams because those are the teams that are probably going to be playing in championship weekend.
That's right.
They have blown you out.
Yeah, you're not even in their class.
You're not even in their. You're not in their class. You're not in their category. You're not there.
No.
That's who I'm comparing you to right now. It's great, but that's what I'm saying. This is what this team is. You are a Tom Brady miracle of winning against the Rams. You're a Tom Brady miracle of beating the Saints, and you're a Tom Brady miracle / Ryan Suckup hitting all his kicks to beat the Cardinals.
Yeah.
With Trace McSorley, a beat-up Matthew Stafford, and Andy Dalton in primetime. Oh, and you lost to Jacoby Brissett, and you lost to P.J. Walker, and you lost to Mitch Trubisky. Who am I missing? Brock Purdy? Did I already mention him?
No, you did not.
There you go. Sorry. Merry Christmas, everybody. That's who the Bucs are.
God, we are the Grinch and Ebenezer Scrooge rolled into one.
Listen, it's not Christmas anymore.
It isn't.
It's not Christmas. Christmas in the rearview mirror. Okay, we enjoyed it. I did enjoy it until about 8:20.
We are the ghosts of Christmas future.
We're not going to lie to you. It's just a bad team.
Hey, Jeremy Lowe, Merry Christmas to you as well, my
Merry
friend.
Christmas,
Merry
Jeremy.
Christmas to you. We actually do have Christmas in our heart, but we're doing our jobs right now. Leo Galamada says, Merry Christmas, guys. I just want to say the Panthers are 1-5 on the road. Lions fell for the trap game because they were looking ahead to the Vikings. Well, I get that, but
Yeah,
you know what travels? Running the football.
Well, funny you say that. Here's the right here. They've won 4 of their last 6, the Panthers. The 2 losses, they totaled 57 yards rushing in both losses. That was the total. In the 4 wins, they've averaged 240.
Average 240.
Average 240 in their 4 wins.
In the NFL, 240 yards
240 yards
is ridiculous.
Now, they aren't great teams that they're playing. Falcons, Broncos, Seahawks, Lions. The 2 teams that stuffed them, 2 pretty good defenses in the Ravens and Steelers. So take that with what it's worth. But it's clear what the recipe is to beat them.
Yeah. Stop the run.
Stop the run. And force Sam Darnold to do something.
Vita Vea, where are you?
Yeah, where is he?
Where are you? Ooh, need you. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves to talk about the Panthers, but we'll do that at the end of the show.
Yep.
Leo Garamata says the fault of what's going on is Byron Leftwich's horrific play calling. With a competent OC, this team is scoring 20+ at least a game. Can't wait for Leftwich to go 2nd and 1 and 4th and 1, the same play. Yeah.
He ain't helping.
It's not, I mean, yes, absolutely. As much as, again, when you're limited in what you can do, it doesn't mean you have to run the same play every time, especially in the run game. Hey, how about the little switch up run to Keyshawn Vaughn? That was a little.
Oh, that excited you?
Well, it's some creativity in the run game. I mean, my God. We have 2 halfbacks back
I'm
there.
sorry, but I was more like pissed off. I'm like, where the hell's Rashad White? Why is Keyshawn Vaughn in the game?
Well, I think he got it first. He got 6 yards. He slipped and got 6
whatever.
yards. Yeah.
By the way, speaking of the running back, real quick, because this just came out, Leonard Fournette is on the old Twitter machine this morning.
Oh, he is.
And he's
watching our show.
He's talking to
Lenny.
people,
We love you, but we just need to give you a break.
He's talking to people like you out here.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, here he is. 12 minutes ago. I hate when people be on here just talking, saying I'm out of shape. Do y'all understand I'm playing with Liz Frank in my foot every week? Can barely push off my foot, but through the grace of God, I'm going to keep proving y'all wrong. #Bucs win.
Whoa. Saying I'm out of shape?
Yeah.
Well, look, Lenny, guys, I hate criticizing you. I'm not because you play with so much heart. Man, I love the heart that you play with. But you're kind of confirming what we're saying. First of all, you're a little bit heavier than you normally are. Let's just be honest with that. Probably because you can't do cardio with your Liz Frank, right? I mean, nobody is questioning your heart, bro.
Well, here's my question.
Nobody is questioning your heart. You are a baller, man. I respect you so much. But if you got a Liz Frank, bro, you should not be getting 30 touches.
There you go.
Come on, man. I mean, we love what you did yesterday. I know it sounds like we're bashing you, but we're not. You won the game for the Bucs yesterday. Let's just be honest. But if your coaches had half a freaking brain, you'd have got 15 touches, been way more efficient, and Rashad would have got 15 or 20 touches. He'd have been way more efficient. You guys would have scored 30 points and wouldn't have been a damn game. That's all we're saying, bro. I mean, trust me, we love the heart that you're playing with. But for your coaches to give you 30 touches when you got a damn Liz Frank? Oh my God.
Yeah, it sums it up. He's Leonard Fournette has an injury, which has he even been on the injury report for this injury?
No,
I don't think he has. He has an injury, and he's still out snapping Rashad White on a consistent basis by 20 snaps. What does that tell you?
It's one of the things that this coaching staff is so bad at, and that's game player management. They don't know when to play guys, who to play. It's been such a I mean, do we need to go through the whole thing, the list again? Luke Gedeke, Nick Everett, Luke Gedeke. I mean, it's so bad. And now you got a running back with a Liz Frank injury, and you're going to give him 29 touches in the game. And the other guy gets what? 11 touches. I mean, and the other guy's healthy and faster and better. I mean, again, Leonard, listen, man, is Rashad White, a healthy Rashad White, better, faster than you? Yes, he is. And that's no knock on you. You're a baller. But man, come on. This is dumb coaching. And man, how many times have we said that? I just don't get it. I don't get it. Here's a question that we probably need to look up. How many challenges has Bowles done all year? I would venture to say that the Bucs have challenged less than any team in football. And yeah, Jeremy Lowe, I think he's watching your show. Well, I hope he heard that. And Leonard, if you are watching, man, well, let's get you on the show. Let's get you on the show. Come on, hit us up. Hit me up. You can go to at FanStreamJP and tweet at me, and I'll we'll DM you right now. We'll get you on the show. We'd love to have you on, man. I just hope you understand what we're saying. You're just slow. You're slow, and because you have a Liz Frank injury, you're not as fast as you normally are. You're not getting off the ball. I mean, you ran hard. You were. I mean, for you to do what you did with that injury, you're a baller. But I mean, isn't it smarter football to not get you so many touches? Guess what? You'll last longer too.
All I'm going to say on that is I'm appreciative. I'm gutting it out, and
good, yeah.
And he's not. I mean, he's a player. He's not going to take himself out of the game if he wants to be in there. Obviously, I don't fault him for that. 160 yards. I'm just saying.
Well, that's why you have coaches.
All I'm pointing out is with Leonard Fournette getting 29 touches and all the scrimmage yards and everything that everybody's raving about, the Bucs had 6 points.
Yeah.
With about 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
That's what that got you. It's not. I mean, that's all I'm pointing out here. I'm just saying that that's not exactly the most efficient way to run an offense.
No.
In my opinion. And not even really just my opinion. I just saw it on the field.
Yeah.
It was boring.
Yeah.
They were doing nothing.
It's not good offense. You won the game, Leonard, and you were the MVP. No question about it. But you're better than that. Your team is better than that. You're better than that. And we've seen you better than that. And that's all we're saying. And it's not your fault. You're balling. You're doing what you can do. Doing everything you can do. So, I mean, it may sound like we're criticizing you, but you're not as fast as Rachaad White. You're just not hitting the holes as quick, and they're putting you in bad situations. You should be pissed at your coaches, not at me. We're just calling it like we see it, but we ain't questioning your heart, bro. No. And we're not questioning that at all. We're questioning your coaches. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We're going to play some sound from Todd Bowles, and we'll also hear from Tom Brady. Bowles talks today, I believe, at 12:30. So we'll have that for you tomorrow. We're brought to you by Emerging Investigations, emerginginv.com. If you need a private investigator, they are the best in the business. Go to emerginginv.com and look them up. Give them a call, free consultation, whatever you need there. Also, the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves, JeevesLawGroup.com. In this Christmas season, they remind you, do not drink and drive with the holiday, with the New Year's parties coming up. Do not drink and drive. If you do and you get caught, make sure you call the Jeeves Law Group, JeeVes LawGroup.com. We'll be back in 3. Stay with us. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group. I've known Scott Jeeves for quite some time, and he's just like us, a huge college football fan. He loves his Gators. In fact, he sponsors our Gator Report every Thursday at 11 o'clock with Scott Carter from FloridaGators.com. But he's not just another PI attorney. He is a ferocious advocate for his clients. Scott Jeeves is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator practicing in Tampa Bay for over 30 years. He is an AV preeminent rated civil trial lawyer and certified circuit court mediator. Folks, these designations are not just given out. They're given only to the best trial attorneys. But more than anything, Scott takes these cases personally. I've heard it from his clients. He's a fighter you want on your side. Insurance companies hate it when they see you're represented by Jeeves. He's just different. 727-894-2929 or go to JeevesLawGroup.com. That's JeeVes lawgroup.com and tell him JP sent you.
Guys, let me tell you about Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Are you experiencing low sex drive, fatigue, hot flashes, moodiness, and you just don't feel like you have the vitality you once had? You're not just getting old, it's likely low testosterone. Studies over the last 20 years show a shocking decline in younger males aged 16 to 39. Older men have seen a sharp decline as well. Do something about it. Go see my friend Christopher Lugo at Bay Area Modern Medicine. Testosterone replacement is not a frivolous treatment. It takes a professional, targeted approach that focuses on total body wellness, vitality, and emotional stability. Not a one-size-fits-all approach like many clinics use. They will monitor your blood work and adjust your treatment as needed for optimal results. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. Tell them JP sent you for priority scheduling.
Now is the time to make sure your home insurance is in order. In the last year, many of us have made improvements to our homes. So call the folks at Italiano and discuss these upgrades to make sure you have enough coverage. According to a recent report, almost 64% of homeowners don't have enough insurance on their home, which is their most valuable asset. Also, a great time to make sure you have flood insurance. Even if your mortgage company does not require flood insurance, your home could still be at flood risk. Another big item as we enter hurricane season is making sure your pool enclosure is added to your policy and there will be no issue at claim time. That happens a lot. So call your friendly agent at Italiano Insurance to review your policies today. 813-877-7799 or ItalianoInsurance.com. Attention, if you are home shopping or looking for a refinance, and even if you already have the approval letter, you must call my man Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services. Scott has a brand new program available in the greater Tampa Bay area called the Community Advantage Loan Program. Get this, no money down, no mortgage insurance, no points, no origination fee, purchase or refinance, and loan amounts up to $647,000. Now, there are some application requirements. It must be a single-family home, one unit, primary residence, and have a minimum 640 credit score. The program only applies to certain neighborhoods, so you have to call to find out if you qualify. So call Scott Fitzgerald at 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. Now, even if you don't qualify for that program, Scott will shop your loan around, get you the best rates, and won't charge you the huge upfront fees. And if you've had issues with your bank calling you back, Scott will return calls immediately or at least the same day. 813-294-7595 or email him, scott@amstampa.com. Scott Fitzgerald, MLS 386722, American Mortgage Services, 1000 North Ashley Drive, Suite 1020, Tampa, Florida. JP here for Emerging Investigations, Tampa Bay's premier investigation agency. Do you suspect your spouse is cheating or involved in a divorce, that your spouse is hiding money, an ex-employee or current employee with suspicious behavior? Is there a criminal matter you need help with? If you need information you can count on, using the professionals at Emerging Investigations is a slam dunk. Emerging Investigations is a licensed and insured private investigation agency, family-owned. Emerging is your ideal resource to secure evidence and validation, allowing you to make informed decisions in life's biggest matters. Led by industry executive Brian D'Antonio, Emerging possesses the experience and resources to get needed results. Emerging Investigations maintains an excellent reputation as a premier investigation agency. They are known for results. You're not just hiring a PI, but an organized, dedicated team using state-of-the-art technology. Their proven investigative methods produce crucial information used in criminal cases, insurance fraud, and personal injury claims. Many local attorneys, industry agencies, and your concerned neighbors all count on Emerging Investigations. Just go to their website, emerginginv.com, or call 813-291-FACT. That's 813-291-FACT-3228. Get results you can trust in life's biggest matters. Emerging Investigations. Well, it's that time of year to renew or shop your health insurance provider, and you can get great health insurance for $20, $30, $50 a month. Just call 888-325-0605 to help navigate the health insurance marketplace. 1 out of 3 people in Florida are uncovered because they think they can't afford it. Not true. I made the call a couple of years ago, and they helped me get Blue Cross Blue Shield coverage, Florida Blue, for just $20 a month. Last year, it went up to $49. Oh, well. It all depends on your income and your family situation. It's a free call, 888-325-0605. They will ask for some income information. So if you have your tax returns available, that will be great, but you don't need it.
They'll just answer some simple questions, and the highly trained reps will do the work for you to find out what your subsidy will be. 888-325-0605. And if you have a plan through your employer, you may be able to get it cheaper. It's a free call, so find out, folks. This has been a lifesaver for me and saved me thousands of dollars over the last few years, and you can choose your plan. It's a no-brainer. Find out. Make the free call. 888-325-0605. Get covered like me and thousands of others. 888-325-0605. Oh, 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 Merry Christmas. Santa Claus here for the Gold and Diamond Source. All right, it's JP. The holidays are the best time for engagements, right? And where better to get that special ring than the Gold and Diamond Source? They have the largest selection of engagement rings in the country, a jewelry superstore with 30 times the inventory of any normal jeweler. So avoid all the mall madness and the parking and all that BS and stay local, right? With the Gold and Diamond Source, Julie and Steve Weintraub are the family jewelers, and they'll treat you like family. And of course, they do so many great things in the community. I was just at their Hands Across the Bay, a charity event. So many people stepped up to give money for these women that have been victims of domestic abuse. It is something to behold when these women come forward and talk about what Julie and Steve have done for them. And the Golden Diamond Source funds Hands Across the Bay, and so many other great companies jump in. That's what it's all about, community, right? So let's keep it local for the holidays. If you want a perfect gift for the holidays, you should check out the unique and beautiful handcrafted jewelry from the Emilique and Julieve collections that feature fashion-forward gold, diamond, and gemstone jewelry. And don't forget, for the holidays only, 3 to 5 year interest-free financing. It's a no-brainer for the holidays. It's the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Almerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show with JP on FanStream Sports.
Brady throws Rachaad White. Can he get there? Yes, touchdown. The rookie out of Arizona State, back in the desert.
Yeah, nice play call there. Let's give him credit for that one. Nice play design, a little bit of a pick with the tight ends kind of mucking it up inside, get Rachaad White and his fast feet out into the flat where he can explode to the pylon, and he reaches out and gets it. No, I don't mean to be busting on you, Lenny, but I'm not sure you score on that play. Just saying, with the Liz Frank and everything. But that's why you complement each other so well if you both play maybe an equal amount.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I'll just say it's another example of this team has had so much trouble scoring down near the goal line.
Right.
But again, on a few occasions, we know that they have it in them to draw up a really good play call and execute.
They do.
But few and far between.
It's not that hard. With the weapons that this team has, and they still have weapons.
Hey, by the way, did you notice, this is all that was on my mind on the Cardinals' first drive. They knew how to execute a fake punt.
They did.
With a 40-year-old punter, by the way, throwing the football.
Throwing the football.
The first 40-year-old in the game to complete a pass was Andy Lee. I don't know if anybody could bet on that, but it happened.
I don't think that was on the props list, but you'd have got good odds on it. Yeah, that was a very well
perfectly executed.
Yeah, and wasn't the easy one that the Bucs had the chance to run, but yeah, exactly. It's and when you do it when it's not expected in your own end, it's a better chance of it working. All you got to do is execute.
Yeah,
it's not that hard.
I'm only bringing it up because it just seems like even the really, really bad teams in this league that have nothing to play for, they seem to have no problem making some things look easy.
Yeah,
during a game, and I'm trying to figure out what the Bucs made look easy yesterday.
The 2 minute.
The 2 minute.
No
That's
huddle.
It.
Yeah.
The one thing they don't do enough of, but
two things they do really well: play action passing in 2 minutes, and they do it less than most every team in the league, or when they're forced to.
And when they're forced to.
Yeah.
It's bonkers.
It's almost as if they're the coaching staff is tanking, but the players aren't.
I'm telling you, it's what it comes off like that. Like it's like a social experiment this season. I don't know.
So let me just do this read real quick, and then we got to get into the Gronk stuff, which is just unbelievable too. It's that time of year, folks, to renew or shop your health insurance provider, and you can get great health insurance for $20, $30, $50 a month. Just call 888-325-0605 to help navigate the health insurance marketplace. 1 out of 3 people in Florida are uncovered because they think they can't afford insurance. That's not true, folks. I made the call a couple of years ago and it helped me get Blue Cross Blue Shield coverage, Florida Blue, for just $20 a month. Last year, it went up to $49 a month. It all depends on your income and your family situation. It's a free call. So 888-325-0605. They'll ask you some income information. If you have your tax returns available, that will be helpful, but not necessary. And then the highly trained reps will do the work and find out what your subsidy will be. So 888-325-0605. And even if you have a plan through your employer, you may be able to get it cheaper. So make the call. It's a lifesaver for so many. Don't go uncovered. 888-325-0605 is the number. So, yeah, over the last few days, we find out that Gronk, who tweeted out on board, wanted to come back and play for the Buccaneers, reached out to them before Thanksgiving. And what was the quote from Todd Bowles that he told Rick Stroud?
Yeah, let me pull up the quote here. It was more of a conversation than anything else. Usually when you have to think about playing, you probably don't want to play. When it's just a discussion, I didn't think much of it at the time.
What? How can there not be a full court press to get Gronk to come in?
And that's what I'm saying. Like he did half the battle for you. He reached out to you about possibly playing. You didn't even have to reach out to him.
Which, by the way, if Jason Light's not has on his things to do list every Monday morning, call Gronk. Something's wrong. First and foremost, something's wrong. Call Gronk every Monday morning. Hey, buddy, what about this week? You bored? Let's go. Now, did he say, I want to get, $10 million for the last 5 weeks? Okay, well, let's I want to know about that.
Be honest.
Yeah, I want to know.
I don't care.
Yeah, really. I mean, this is your last few games with Brady. Why would you not do that?
Yeah, because I'm looking at it right now. Gronk missed a few games last season, if I'm not mistaken, with that rib injury. I think he played like 14 games.
Yeah.
He had over 800 yards receiving from that tight end position. This year, K-Dot and Cameron Brate, and I guess you could throw Keeft in there. Let's put him into this puzzle.
Gronk was a monster down the stretch.
Yeah.
He was a monster.
The foursome combination of K-Dot and Cam Brate, Keeft, and Kyle Rudolph has combined for 643 yards. That's your tight end production this year. And that is the position that Brady loves the most, is that tight end position.
And I would say an overall blocking grade in the run game of probably 40%, maybe. I mean, just awful at that position. And K-Dot has made some plays. There's no question about it. But K-Dot was never drafted to be a blocking tight end or a full service tight end.
Yeah, I take it. I oversold it, actually. Gronk played 12 games last year and had 802 receiving yards.
Yeah, and he was a
12.
monster. He was a monster down the stretch. And listen, I can't even put into words what that quote tells me about this team. It's like, how do you not?
Like, I didn't even pursue it.
Like, I didn't think much of it. It's a complete game changer for your team. A complete game changer for your team. You look at Brady's historic numbers with Gronk and without them. His quarterback rating, I think, is 20 points less without Gronk. Like, it's a complete game changer for your team, and you don't think much about it. Well, I wasn't on the conversation, and
was Brady in this conversation? Well, I have to imagine.
If Gronk contacts you, I mean, isn't that enough desire to say we need to get this done?
You think?
How do you? I mean, it wasn't like you called him and he was like, I'm really not sure. Maybe a little lukewarm. No, he picked up the phone and called you. So clearly, he wants to come back and play.
Yeah, and at that time, the Bucs were a 3-5 football team, if you recall.
Yeah, how do you not full court press that? How do you not full court press that?
It's because it's an unserious coaching staff. It's an unserious coaching staff.
And so to, I guess, put some public pressure on the Buccaneers, Gronk tweets out, I'm bored.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now Ian Rappaport, NFL Network, this morning was on Good Morning Football and reported that Gronk is seriously open to returning in 2023, unretiring. And I'm going to assume, we're all going to assume that's depending on where Brady, what he's doing first.
Right.
But it sounds like we are likely going to get the Gronk return next year. How likely it's going to be in Tampa Bay, I don't know.
No.
But it's just, again, it's like I'd like to say that I'm shocked by this, but This is what this coaching staff is. That quote to me, like, I didn't think much of it when the greatest tight end of all time who was helped you to a Super Bowl. You don't win a Super Bowl without him. You don't get to 13 wins last year without him, right? And this year, when your offense is going nowhere, 28th in the league in scoring, with that tight end production that I just told you about, with the greatest quarterback of all time, that's his best friend, and has thrown like 100-something touchdowns to him, and you just say, I didn't think much of it. I didn't pursue it.
Well,
and how many teams would love to have Ron Gronkowski call them up on the phone right now?
My God.
How many teams?
Every team in the league. Every team in the league. There are no tight ends. To find a tight end that can block and catch passes and block at elite level and catch passes at an elite level, especially in the red zone, where this team, in case you haven't checked it out, Todd, you're not very good in the red zone. And I mean, it's mind-blowing how you do not put it in. And this is, somebody tweeted this out, and we've talked about it all year long, but they said, it just seems like there's something going on behind the scenes with this team that we don't know about, that we'll find out later, in a Brady man in the arena or something. Right. And I'm here to say and go on the record as saying, and I've kind of hinted at this the past few weeks. This feels a lot to me like Brady has lost the team, despite his tremendous abilities to come back and win games late in games. When you look at the body language of the players on the field and on the sidelines during games, and you listen to Brady and when he goes on his own podcast and says our game day effort is embarrassing, and then he's on the sideline yelling and screaming at guys about quitting, you want to quit, and nobody is listening to him or jumping up and getting in on it. We saw these clips. I mean, it just tells me that there is a disconnect between Brady and the rest of the team. Now, could that be because of all the off the field shenanigans that have gone on? Absolutely, it could. These players know that Brady didn't want to play here this year. He wanted to play in Miami, and then he tried to abandon them. And he was talking to the Dolphins while they were preparing for the playoffs last year. This is true. This is all true. The players know this. It hasn't been talked about much. During the season, because you got a season going on, I get it. But I mean, they know all this. So of course they're pissed off at him. Wouldn't you be? And not only that, you understand that the organization has done everything and bent over backwards for Brady to give him everything that he wants, as they should, right? But after a while, I think, when he's blaming everybody else and he's not playing very well, even when you're Tom Brady, guys are going to start looking at you a little bit cross-eyed.
Well,
am I completely wrong on this? I mean, look at Mike Evans.
It's a hard statement to get behind. Like, right, the team has turned on Tom Brady. Like, it's hard to fathom.
I don't want to say turned on him as much as it's like before everybody was all in. Like, he was the Pied Piper and everybody was going all in. And now I think it's like he's the Pied Piper and everybody's like kind of like.
To me, though, there's so many. Okay. To me, there's, and I've talked about this too. There's so much just like disarray around the franchise right now and on the field and on game day. Like, it's not even just like you have a Brady right now who, I don't know if he's lacking confidence or what. I don't know if he's injured. I don't know. Regression. He's just not the same Brady right now. You have interesting decisions being made with the personnel, which we talked about. Leonard Fournette out-snapping Rachaad White by 20 snaps when he's injured. You have an offensive line that is on offensive tackle number 3 right now at left tackle. Tristan Wirfs is banged up. And you have a receiving core who's truly healthy in the receiving core right now? Who's truly healthy in the receiving core?
Well, I think Mike is.
I don't know if Mike is. I keep going back to that rib thing. I don't think he's looked the same since. Mm-hmm. We don't know if he is. We know Chris Godwin's not 100% himself. Russell Gage looks like he's getting closer.
Yeah, there was Collinsworth was relating a conversation he had with Godwin. I think it was Collinsworth last night.
Yeah.
Where he said, Godwin said, I'm about 80%.
He said he'd grade himself a B, right?
Yeah, about 80%. Where he can't get in and out of his cuts the way he used to.
Yeah, and then I mentioned
can't get up to full speed as quick. Yeah.
I mentioned the tight end position has just been a mess this season.
Mm-hmm.
And then, by the way, you have, in my opinion, one of the bottom 5 worst head coaches in the league.
Yeah,
and your offensive coordinator is a guy who just being honest, I don't think he has any business calling another play after this season.
No.
And I don't know if a team would ever even give him that right again. I certainly know it won't be this one.
No.
So, I mean, I just feel like there's so much here that's contributing to this. It's like, I want to say I'm shocked that they're scoring 17 points a game, but when you combine everything right there, and then we talk about, just the fact that the team looks like they're not really communicating with each other. I mean, that much we see with the issue with the Brady's-Evans connection. There's just so much going on.
Yeah.
There's just so much going on. So I don't know if it's as simple as, the team has turned on Brady, or if they've turned, or if the coaching staff. It's just so much all the way around. It's hard to pinpoint one thing that's like outweighing everything. It really is to me.
Yeah, it's weird. And then, then the reports coming out that Brady is, tinkering with the offense late at night, at this or Saturday night before the games, and the coaches find out in real time. Like, what is that? And where did that come from? More disconnect. There's the rumor is that Arians put that out. We don't know that. We don't know. Maybe Brady put that out.
Yeah.
There. Maybe Brady is trying to set it up at the end of the year, because the offense was so bad and he had part of it, that he's like, well, the offense coordinator was not very good, and my line was terrible, so I'm going to go play someplace else where I can get better help.
Yeah. Did you see Bruce Arians? He spoke again this week.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that quote?
Yeah. Go ahead and give the quote.
Yeah. He said, "This is going to be one of those seasons where fans say, 'I hate you. I hate you. Oh my God, I love you. I love you.' Todd Bowles will win the division. Whatever happens, that I hope we get rings. Who cares if our record is 8-9? Regardless of whether you're 17-0 or 4-13, you win the division, you have a division banner, and then you try for your next goal to get to the Super Bowl."
I love Bruce, but that's delusional.
It very is so delusional.
Come on, Bruce. Come on. You really think that this team is going to win a playoff game? This team?
They could win a playoff game. That I can say because of the opponent that they're likely going to be facing in said playoff game.
Dallas.
Yes, and I just don't trust them in any type of big game scenario.
But you trust the Bucs? Trust Tom Brady. You trust Tom Brady?
I'll put a slight bit of blind hope behind Tom Brady to get it done in that scenario. But of course, we still got to win next week and the week after that to get there. So
there's absolutely no.
We'll see what happens. But no, I mean, I just see this quote right here. Like, he says, Todd Bowles will win the division, as if this is like some kind of like crowning achievement to be the best of one of the worst divisions I think I've ever seen in the history of football.
And I know Bruce loves Todd, but how, like, if I'm sitting here talking to Bruce right now, and I've had the opportunity to play golf with him a couple of times. I know him a little bit. I knew he's a really candid guy. And I'd sit there and I'd say, why does Todd Bowles not challenge that play? Why does Todd Bowles not he called timeout on defense yesterday? Did you see that?
I did.
Christmas miracle. Christmas miracle. Well, what about the horrible clock management, not giving Brady a chance to win the game? I mean, all these doesn't challenge. He's asleep at the wheel. His game management has been terrible. Playing Fournette. We've add all this. Bruce Arians can sit there and say Todd Bowles has done a good job as the head coach.
Again, this is one of
Byron Leftwich has done a good job as the offensive coordinator. They're down to 17
and this
points.
Is what I'm saying.
It's the worst drop-off in NFL history.
And this is what I'm saying. If you want to figure out one thing that's going behind the scenes, because that's the question that we're trying to answer here, if there's anything going behind the scenes, I maintain that I think Bruce Arians being in this building right now is a problem. I mean, I would love Bruce Arians if he was the head coach, but in any other scenario, I think he's a problem.
It's dysfunctional.
I don't like Bruce Arians. Yes.
What did we say that after the Pittsburgh loss?
Dysfunction junction.
It's dysfunction junction.
And when Bruce Arians, it's like, I honestly don't want to hear from Bruce Arians right now. I don't, because every quote he has, he's either criticizing Brady's play, which, I mean, again, we can argue we've been wanting that from Bowles, but in my opinion, I don't want to hear from Bruce Arians. I don't. You're not the head coach of the team, and you work for the front office. I don't need to hear it from you. And I don't need to hear you trying to say all these quotes that are in favor of Byron Leftwich and Todd Bowles, because those are your guys. You're trying to protect them in the public. And I'm sure he's lobbying to the Glazers right now as we speak about, hey, give my guy a shot. Let him, I don't need that. That's not in the good interest of the franchise. So if you're trying to find something, in my opinion, behind the scenes that's going on here, I hate to say it, but I think Bruce Arians, again, you need to just get out of the way. You need to get out of the way. You need to let your coaching staff go and get out of the way.
Well, he's done that for the most part. He's not been in the way, and when I've, asked people within the organization how much input does Bruce have, it's like none. Like he doesn't.
It's not about having input. It's just about that he continues.
around.
It's being around, and he's kind of like, in my opinion, like the Glazers having Bruce Arians around. Then you have to make tough decisions of, hey, we're going to fire your best friends, by the way. And then it just kind of to me, it's just too much drama. Then it's unneeded. It's unneeded.
Well, I thought, if Bruce was going to hang around, he should be intricately involved in the offense. That's my feeling.
That's what I'm saying. Unless Bruce Arians is on the sideline helping out with anything in regards to game planning, I don't need him here. That sounds harsh, but I don't need him here.
And here's the deal. We go back to last Super Bowl, right? When I was out in LA and we're talking to Solomon Wilcots, who's very well connected, right? NFL Network, Sirius NFL, and other people that are very well connected, and everybody was talking about it. Brady and Arians are at odds, whatever it is. Okay. And it might be more about, and then of course, who was it that foiled Brady's plan to go to Miami? Who was it at the combine? It was Bruce Arians saying, you want Brady? Give me 5 first-round picks. Because Bruce, I'm sure, knew that the Dolphins were tampering. That was already probably, if the NFL was investigating it, they knew it. So he knew it. He knew what Brady was trying to do, and he called him on it. So then, what is Brady going to do when he realizes that, Arians has called his bluff, right? And he wants to come back, and he definitely wants to play, right? So what's his way of getting back at Arians? I ain't coming back unless Bruce is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And the Glazers have no choice at that point. They don't. They have no choice. I'm just painting maybe a possible scenario here. So if that's the case, and and the Glazers are all right, but we're putting him in the Ring of Honor. Okay, he's staying on staff. He doesn't have to be involved in the offense. Okay, so now you're making decisions right there, that are dysfunctional. That's not how normal teams operate. It's not how normal teams operate. And then you have an offense that goes from 30 points a game to 17 points a game. Okay, that's not offensive line, folks. That's not offensive line. Sorry. I understand it's been a different offensive line, but it's not that dramatic, especially when you have a quarterback like Brady. So there's something going on that we don't know about. And my gut feeling is that's kind of what it is. That there's no synergy on this team like there has been the past couple of years, where guys are falling in line. They're falling. There's accountability. Brady is beating them up like, you got to do this, you got to do this. But when Brady comes in and does a meeting now and starts telling everybody how bad they're playing, how much they suck, and their effort is embarrassing on game day, which he said in front of the world on his well-sponsored podcast. Well, how do you think? I mean,
a lot of people were saying
that. GOAT, dude.
A lot of people were saying
that. The rest of these players must be going, we're sucking. What about you, bro?
A lot of people were pointing that out yesterday.
And it's just recently, by the way, that Brady has started to take ownership of his own mistakes at the podium.
Yeah.
Correct?
Correct.
He wasn't doing that. When I pressed him on the 2-point conversion, when he let the clock run out to win a game, it was like, oh, there's a lot of things going on you don't know about. He didn't say, no, that's on me, which it clearly is. Doesn't matter. And not till probably week 11, week 12, week 13.
Yeah. Did
he start actually? Yeah, that was a bad throw by me.
Yeah.
I was late to get to Mike Evans, which we're going to hear here.
Yeah, and a lot of people were pointing that out last night because they caught him again, the cameras, chewing the offensive line out.
Yep.
And a lot of people were like, well, what about your play? You're
right.
not, I mean, you missed the big throw to Julio Jones in the beginning of the game.
Even the GOAT has very little credibility ripping everybody else when you're playing like crap. You can't be a leader when you're playing like crap. Jameis Winston learned that.
Yeah, it's just gotten to the point where we talked about, one of the advantages of Brady coming here. Obviously, you win the Super Bowl. Nobody's taking that away. And again, whatever happens this season, if this is it, we're going to remember that season.
Oh my God!
Okay?
Yes.
We're not going to focus on this one.
Legacy.
We're not going to focus on this one. But another advantage was that, whenever he leaves, maybe we could get this culture that has just been damaged for, 15 years or so. Maybe we can get that culture back in the right direction in the long term. And now it's like he's here. And what is the culture that he's here now that he's exiting with, we think? I don't know I don't know. It's like
disjointed, dysfunctional.
Disjointed, dysfunctional. It's like we're right back to square one.
Right.
And that certainly was not the plan.
No.
That certainly was not the plan.
Well, if Brady if Brady honors his contract and doesn't do the stupid retirement thing and is not,
Well, I'm just saying,
tampering
by
with,
the way, if you watched the Miami game yesterday and you've been paying attention,
exactly,
the Miami scenario might be back on the table, folks.
It's very much on the table. 2 or 3 picks in the fourth quarter.
Oh my goodness.
And and you look at those weapons.
And from what, 7-3 to 8-7.
Yeah.
Struggling to stay alive in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, and Tua's been bad.
Bad. Very bad.
Those picks yesterday. Whew, wow. Those were really, really eye-opening picks.
Yeah.
Those are bad throws.
So if you're paying attention to the Tom Brady sweepstakes of what's going to go on when we exit this season, I'm sorry, but Miami's right back on the board.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. What do you think, Stephen Ross isn't already calling Brady? He tampered with him last year. You don't think he's tampering with him this year? Of course he is.
And if I'm going to be honest with you, it's a better situation. Now it's a better situation.
It is. If you were Brady, what would you do?
You have the head coach. You got those 2 receivers. You got a really good tight end that's been underused. You got a team that could run the football with anybody. You got a franchise left tackle, and you got a defense that probably needs some work to it, but you can probably get better there. It's Miami. His kids live in Miami. I'm sorry, Miami's a better spot now.
It is.
And if push comes
100%.
to shove, and you're Tom Brady,
100%. And you're in the Bucs sit, and Gronk's calling you up to come back, and you're like, yeah, I didn't think much of it.
And you know what? I'm curious. I mean, we have no idea this whole story, but maybe Brady. I'm going to assume everything that he tells Todd Bowles, he told Tom Brady beforehand.
Sure.
Hey, I want to come back and play.
Sure.
Go call Todd. Let's see if we can make it happen. How does Brady feel when he knows that these 2 guys have a conversation, and then Gronk calls him, hey, I called Todd, and he didn't sound like he really wanted me here.
Clown show.
What's Brady supposed to think?
Clown show.
If you're trying to find ways why this team seems so disjointed and he seems like to be a little checked out, these are kind of stories that continue to just kind of paint that narrative, do they not?
Oh, yeah.
This is a lot deeper than just 3 hours on a Sunday.
Yeah, no question about it. And it all fits.
It all fits.
It all fits. It all fits because the puzzle doesn't fit. It's like we keep trying to it's like, what? How does this work? Well, let me tell you how it works. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody can bear, you're not going to say the emperor has no clothes on, right? Nobody's going to say it. But when when guys are rocking around the locker room, are they all goated in? Doesn't seem like it.
No.
Doesn't seem like it. It just look at the body language of the players. And you go back and you just juxtapose that to the first 2 years Brady was here. Completely different. And is what it is. Let's listen to Brady.
Sorry, I was laughing. Leonard Fournette deleted his tweet.
Did he?
By the way, but he replaced it with #BucsWin with the screenshot of Giovanni Bernard's face from the scrum last week.
That might be my video.
It's somebody's video there. But
by the way, I didn't realize this last week. Sorry, folks, I wasn't on Twitter much last week. I needed about a 4 or 5 day checkout. So I checked out. Didn't do a lot, but Fox Sports FS1 sent me a DM that they wanted to use the Giovanni interview, and of course I didn't get that till yesterday.
Oh, what a missed opportunity!
But it still got over 12,000 views, and people are just incredible. And we really didn't talk much about the backlash of that whole thing.
Yeah.
But there's another perfect example of how disjointed this team is, and they're completely not focused, and there's no accountability. And what would explain that? If there was a fractured locker room, and believe me, I've covered fractured locker rooms. I know what they look like. I know when players don't believe in coaches anymore, and coaches and players are pointing fingers at other guys. Been there, been covering the Bucs for 25 years. I know that when I smell it. Trust me, it smells a lot like that right now. It really, really does. It is fractured. It is disjointed. It is dysfunctional, and it's not going to change. And even these great wins. Remember when that was another great quote when Russell Gage was like, even when we do well, like there's no fun here. There's no fun here. It's because people there's probably part of Brady. And why does Brady not change those running plays? 3 straight run calls into the middle of the line, because at some point he probably will know when he's on his way to Miami, go look at the play calling, you guys. I mean, what was I supposed to do? Change the play. That's what you're supposed to do. Get out of the damn play like you do in the 2 minute. And Brady can always show his worth in the 2 minute, right? That's my time. Watch this. I'm still pretty good. I could still play Miami. Watch this. And, yeah. And again, I'm not saying Brady is the whole problem. That's not what I'm saying at all. Brady's pissed off because the rest of the parts of this team don't work, and they can't coach around it. And the coaching staff doesn't know how to manage games.
And he can't overcome all these things. That's that. If you're looking for one reason.
How do you think Brady felt when Todd Bowles said, the reason I didn't call timeout is because I was afraid Brady was going to throw an interception?
That's what I'm saying. Like all these things just kind of add up into this puzzle.
How do you think
that
Tom Brady
makes no
feels
sense.
about that?
Yeah.
Probably not too good. He probably is on. Can you believe it? You're probably texting Gronk right away. Can you believe the Bulls didn't want to throw an interception? And Gronk's like, what a clown show. I mean, how do they not sign Gronk?
I don't know. I'm at a loss of words on that one. I'm at a loss of words, but maybe you'll see him next year in Teal. Who knows?
Yeah, I think we will. Let's play Tom Brady's brief but interesting press conference from last night. After you saw him on the field with Melissa Stark, it wasn't a guy who was like really excited that they won a big game and they're moving forward. You know,
he survived.
Yeah, he was basically like, yeah, we got it done. It was much harder than it needed to be. You know, it's just so much harder than it needed to be. Thanks for saying that, Tom. Thanks for saying what every Buck fan was saying while watching. So much harder than it needed to be. Here's Tom.
Nice and quick.
Nice and quick.
Tom, you never want to necessarily be in these positions where you got to come from behind, but your team feels very comfortable doing it.
Yeah, you know, we keep it close in the fourth quarter. We know we got a shot, and you know, just too many plays to not get ahead, and then we play better there in the fourth quarter. We executed pretty well, made a bunch of broke some tackles, ran hard. A lot of guys made plays in the past game, some contested catches, got a hit as soon as they caught it and came up with it. So defense really stepped up. So it was a great way to down 10 in the fourth quarter on the road. It's great to find a way to win.
6-6 on that final drive. What was there any particular reason things went so well on that final drive?
In the end of overtime. Yeah, I think we're all comfortable, in those situations. So.
Job Lenny did today, running and catching the ball.
Awesome job. Ran really hard. Was on a mission. Ran through arm tackles. Ran hard. Caught the ball well. Pass protected well. So this team has a lot of resiliency. We fight hard. 7-8. It's not where we want to be, but got a chance to championship game next week.
Is it possible that the fact that Leonard Fournette is such a great blocker? I saw him in, I think it was maybe the throw to Evans in the final drive. There were two guys coming up the A gap, and Fournette went and got both of them. Like he got both linebackers.
Yeah,
he smoked the first one and then got a piece of the second one.
Yeah,
could it be that Brady's like, no, I don't want 29 out there. I want 7 because he's a better, because he's going to help him not get hit.
Well, that's part of it, and we see that a lot with rookie running backs and coaching staffs. Veteran coaching staffs don't really trust the rookie running backs in these situations. Oh, and by the way, as I mentioned last week, Rachaad White, I think, is tied for first in the league in fumbles off from running backs, and that's not going to help your case at all. We could argue, honestly, if Bruce Arians was in charge, he'd probably be getting even less playing time, because those are the things that Bruce look at Ronald Jones, for example.
Right.
We might have thought Ronald Jones was a better runner than Leonard Fournette. At least I did.
Of course.
He couldn't get on the field because of all the other things.
But he couldn't block. Rashad's a good blocker.
He couldn't catch the ball like Rashad can also.
Rashad's just – and I think a couple, at least one of the last fumble, he fumbled it before he was hit before he even got the damn ball. So that's not on him. He's been better of late. And I think one of the other fumbles was on a kickoff return. Yeah,
but I've also seen Rachaad White, in crunch time, like the play in this one.
Game-winning touchdown.
To get this one here, the game-winning touchdown earlier in the season. I mean, I've seen him in crunch time when it matters be able to be somebody that can be trusted.
And you have to know as a football team that this guy's your future, and you got to start getting him touches, especially if the other guy's hurt, for God's sakes. Come on. That's just crazy. And again, nothing against Leonard Fournette. He's heart of a lion. But maybe it's Brady that kept him off. I don't know. If I can get over to the press conference today, I'll ask Bowles.
I'm Greg Moore, Arizona Republic. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
2 picks. Wilson. Not a lot of guys pick you off twice in a game. What was going on those two plays? Can you take me through anything that he might have done or that the defense might have done to scheme you into those mistakes?
Yeah, he made good catches. They played cover 2. We had a go route, and I threw the ball pretty early. And, he had his eyes on it before Mike did. And then came down with it. And the second one, they were in man coverage, and Mike broke to the outcut. I was late throwing it. And, he made a great catch.
It looked like you pump fake Gage. You're getting them to bite a little bit and then threw it over the top. Is that what happened there?
Yeah, it was good. We had kind of set it up. We had a few plays where they were really aggressive on some of those little flare routes. And, we just said, hey, let's make an adjustment and pump it and give ourselves a shot. Man. And ended up being a good play.
Should have used it all game long because they were so uptight. And we're not talking, like you said, the 104th ranked corner got you twice. It's just, every team knows that the offense is so compressed.
And every team, they knew what the plays were. Yeah. We all knew it watching at home what some of these plays were, but the Cardinals really knew it.
Every team's known it.
This is just a common theme. It's just, to me, it's more sad. And again, Collinsworth, I keep mentioning him because I thought he had some good insight yesterday on the broadcast. But he kind of mentioned it too. It's like, this is like sad what they've been wilted down to, like screens to Chris Godwin. That's how you have to get Chris Godwin the ball now. In the event that the middle clears out, you get those little like routes to Chris Godwin in the middle where he kind of can run a little bit. That's what you get. Yeah. And you get no Mike Evans. You get 0 Mike Evans to where the point now it's like he had 3 games to get to his 1,000-yard benchmark. I don't know if he's going to get there.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to get there.
What does he need? 87
He needs
yards?
83 yards in 2 games. And it sounds like a piece of cake, but I don't know.
Yesterday he got 1 target in the second half or 1 target in the first half?
1 target in the first half.
3 receptions for 29 yards.
Mike Evans.
Wow. On 6 targets. Yeah. That's dysfunctional. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll hear from Todd Bowles, which I thought was also interesting. We're trying to pick up tidbits and nuggets here and there as to what the hell is going on with this team. So we'll listen to Todd Bowles. We're brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES and the health insurance marketplace, folks. You have time to get your coverage. 888-325-0605. It's a free call. They'll help you navigate it. And even if you've got an employer plan, you might be able to find great health insurance cheaper. You never know until you call. 888-325-0605. It'll take you 10 minutes to find out what's going on. 888-325-0605. Back at 3. Stay with us.
JP here for Italiano Insurance. If you've started a side hustle during COVID and the business has grown, well, you need business insurance because if you get sued, you could lose all your personal wealth if you're not properly protected. That's right. Your home, your savings, everything could go. So get protected now. Call the great agents at Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799, and a real human will answer the phone and get you protected. If you haven't shopped your business insurance in a while, you could be overpaying by thousands. One customer had their golf buddy handling his business insurance, then called Italiano to shop it around, and they saved him $26,000 a year. Yeah, so call 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. Italiano Insurance, protecting all the pieces of your life for over 60 years. Attention, if you are home shopping or looking for a refinance, and even if you already have the approval letter, you must call my man Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services. Scott has a brand new program available in the greater Tampa Bay area called the Community Advantage Loan Program. Get this, no money down, no mortgage insurance, no points, no origination fee, purchase or refinance, and loan amounts up to $647,000. Now, there are some application requirements. It must be a single-family home, 1 unit, primary residence, and have a minimum 640 credit score. The program only applies to certain neighborhoods, so you have to call to find out if you qualify. So call Scott Fitzgerald at 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. Now, even if you don't qualify for that program, Scott will shop your loan around, get you the best rates, and won't charge you the huge upfront fees. And if you've had issues with your bank calling you back, Scott will return calls immediately or at least the same day. 813-294-7595 or email him, scott@amstampa.com. Scott Fitzgerald, MLS 386722, American Mortgage Services, 1000 North Ashley Drive, Suite 1020, Tampa, Florida.
Guys, let me tell you about Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Are you experiencing low sex drive, fatigue, hot flashes, moodiness, and you just don't feel like you have the vitality you once had? You're not just getting old, it's likely low testosterone. Studies over the last 20 years show a shocking decline in younger males aged 16 to 39. Older men have seen a sharp decline as well. Do something about it. Go see my friend Christopher Lugo at Bay Area Modern Medicine. Testosterone replacement is not a frivolous treatment. It takes a professional, targeted approach that focuses on total body wellness, vitality, and emotional stability. Not a one-size-fits-all approach like many clinics use. They will monitor your blood work and adjust your treatment as needed for optimal results. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. Tell them JP sent you for priority scheduling.
Well, it's that time of year to renew or shop your health insurance provider, and you can get great health insurance for $20, $30, $50 a month. Just call 888-325-0605 to help navigate the health insurance marketplace. 1 out of 3 people in Florida are uncovered because they think they can't afford it. Not true. I made the call a couple of years ago, and they helped me get Blue Cross Blue Shield coverage, Florida Blue, for just $20 a month. Last year, it went up to $49. Oh, well. It all depends on your income and your family situation. It's a free call, 888-325-0605. They will ask for some income information. So if you have your tax returns available, that will be great, but you don't need it. They'll just answer some simple questions, and the highly trained reps will do the work for you to find out what your subsidy will be. 888-325-0605. And if you have a plan through your employer, you may be able to get it cheaper. It's a free call, so find out, folks. This has been a lifesaver for me and saved me thousands of dollars over the last few years, and you can choose your plan. It's a no-brainer. Find out. Make the free call. 888-325-0605. Get covered like me and thousands of others. 888-325-0605.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. If you're looking to lose weight or just lean up, there are so many diets and chiropractors and weight loss clinics. You don't know where to start, right? We'll start at Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Chris Lugo, PA, and his professional staff will devise a personal plan for you that gets results, right? Keep the weight off. So if you put on a few pounds during the holidays, great way to go. Everybody metabolizes food and supplements differently. Many of these other approaches are designed for the masses. So how's that going to work just for you? Chris Lugo will spend a one-on-one time with you and find out what works best for you so the weight comes off safely without the use of drugs that will only work temporarily. So give him a call at 844-977-3477. That's 844-977-3477, or go to BAMMC.com. Tell them JP sent you for priority scheduling. That's 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com. Well, Todd Bowles, I guess he didn't think much of Gronk calling him, but yeah, hard to really. And as much as I love Todd, and a lot of people have been asking me on Twitter, like, where do we go from here? Just watching this up close unravel the way it's unraveled, and even if it's a Brady thing or whatever that's going on, his game management is just, I think, precludes the Glazers from bringing him back. You were looking up challenges. Did you find out, who challenges the most, the least?
I did not. I can't. Okay. I don't even know if they make that stat or.
Yeah, they definitely have it somewhere, but don't worry about it. We know this. He doesn't challenge enough, and certainly hasn't been very good with challenges. And yesterday was a perfect time to challenge a play, and he did not. And it led to a touchdown, the only touchdown the Cardinals scored. He's a terrific defensive coordinator, and if there's somehow I could keep him around, I kind of laid out this scenario last week. If there's any way, I see Bowles staying on, it's as the defensive coordinator, but would he do that? Essentially take a demotion. Well, I mean, he got a promotion. It didn't work out. So a demotion, I don't even think it's a demotion. It's just basically, you know what? I don't think you're, a great head coach. You're a great defensive coordinator, but clearly your record as a head coach is not good.
And even if they win a division championship, I know people will say, "Oh, well, how do you fire a guy that wins a division?" Well, you were 8-9 when you won the division, and you're just, team is dramatically underperformed this year. There's just no question about that. And it's the game management issues, the time management, game management, personnel management, lack of inspiration of this team, lack of accountability, constant mistakes. I mean, how about the penalties yesterday? How about the penalties? My God, how many? This just looks like 2019 all over again. It's what it looks like. And it's just, it's terrible. It's terrible coaching. Not just Todd, but the entire staff has just done a very, very poor job this year. So let's listen into Todd Bowles' post game after the win, the 19-16 win on Christmas Day over the Arizona Cardinals. It's a very bad football team. All right, let's ask him about.
We've seen Tom rally teams in the fourth quarter and in overtime. What was it about today that made it special?
I think it was a total effort in the second half, especially the fourth quarter. Defense getting stops and the offense cashing in and timely plays. Seemed like if we play better in the fourth quarter, if we can transfer that to the other three, we'll be pretty consistent. But it was a hard-fought win. We needed it. We got it, no matter how pretty it looked or it didn't look pretty. And, we'll set up for next week.
What does it mean to be being able to play Carolina, win there, you win the NFC South? What does that mean to you?
It always means something when you're playing for something at the end of the year. You want to be playing December football. You want to play good December football, and you want to play meaningful games. So next week, they need it and we need it. So it's going to be a good battle.
For Atlanta, Leonard Fournette a lot. Can you talk about the game that
he got going early, so it was kind of an inside game, and it was more of a power game that way. And he showed some positive runs even after they were hitting them, and so we left him in there for a little while.
What did Arizona show you guys, Coach? Good to meet you, Greg Moore, Arizona Republic.
Yeah.
What did Arizona show you that gave you difficulty through the first three quarters?
Well, we knew they were tough. They got a lot of different looks up front. They show a lot of different looks all around. Vance does a great job of moving those guys around and making you see something that's not there, and it changes every week. We knew it was coming. We just had to get a hat on the hat. We knew they were going to make some plays, but we knew we had a chance to make some too.
Attributed to the two interceptions is the different looks, the different movement?
No, I just think we had two bad balls thrown.
Ryan Succop's been pretty consistent, but he had to make all of them today. What do you say about just the job he's been able to do all year for you?
He's done a great job. He's been very consistent. He came back healthier than he was last year, so I think that helped a lot. The holes have been great. The snaps have been great. He's been doing his job, so I can't say enough about him.
He has been awesome.
What was this trip like? I mean, you're on the road at Christmas. You're almost in sort of a must-win situation like that. How did the guys handle those 3 days away?
I mean, I thought they were good. We had a normal Saturday. We had our walkthroughs and our meetings and everything else. Christmas Eve, there's not much open. You can get something to eat. And some had a little bit of family out here, and it's a normal Saturday for us. I don't think the guys know too much about It's a Wonderful Life, so they didn't watch that too much. But it was a normal weekend for us.
It's not been a wonderful life this season.
had a lot of work outside linebacker depth in the last couple of weeks, and Anthony Nelson made a big play. Can you talk about Anthony Nelson's contributions?
He's been playing tough the last couple of weeks. He's probably not the most athletic and the most fluid of the bunch, but he's the smartest, and he's long and gangly, and he makes plays. He's extremely tough with his arm length, and he can use everything, and he knows what to do, and he always comes up with a play. And that's kind of what we see in practice, what we saw tonight.
So frustrated that the offense couldn't get going, especially early in the game.
Yeah, we got going. We had costly turnovers, whether it was turnovers or we had a 4th and 1, we had two 3rd and 2s. The short yardage stuff got us just like it got us early in the year, and that stops drives, and that part is frustrating, and that's what we need to work on.
All special for you to win here against this team?
It's special because I coached here. The guys are different completely. There's a few guys left. I know some people in the front office and the scouting department, but it's always special coming back here when you win a ball game.
By the way, Todd's going to speak today via Zoom at noon. So as soon as we're done here, I'm going to hop on that sucker and see if we can ask about the lack of challenging that critical play.
By the way, I did do a few more digging on that. I found his challenges here. He's only challenged 2 plays this season.
Oh my God.
Won 1 and lost 1. And I have his whole entire history here, and it's kind of interesting. It seems like when he became a head coach in New York, he started out hot with challenges. He had 5 in 2015. 2016, he had 8 and won 5 of them. And since then, 3, 2, and 2 in his years as a head coach. And his last season in New York, by the way, he only challenged 2 and he won both. And now here back as a head coach for the first time, only challenged 2.
And 1 and 1.
And 1 and 1.
What is the typical challenge rate for coaches? I mean, how many challenges? It's 2 seems really, really low. And I can think, we've talked about this almost every game, a play that needed to be challenged that wasn't challenged. And by the way, there was a decision late in the game when they punted in their own end, where a lot of people were like, "Oh, how are you punting?" I'm like, "No, you got to punt there. You absolutely have to punt there." So it's not like they're all bad decisions.
I just found like a Sean McVay. I was going for like a more offensive head coach. Sean McVay in his career, and this is every year, 6, 8, 5, 6, 5, and then this year, actually, believe it or not, yesterday was his first challenge of the season.
Okay.
Sean McVay. But usually it seems like if Sean McVay typically is averaging, 5 to 7, it sounds like maybe that's about the going rate.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just, and it comes down to specific instances. And I think there's a lot of times where there are frivolous challenges by coaches, even though they think they're right. If it's going to result in a 2 or 3 yard difference, I would not challenge. But this was a critical play.
Yeah,
this was a critical
it's the critical plays that he just completely is.
And it was an obvious play. It was an obvious challenge. To me, like a no question at all challenge. And I think you would have won it, but he didn't challenge. I mean, that was a pretty innocuous press conference. I'm not quite sure why, to me, when you're asking questions post game, especially post game, it should be about specific situations where he made decisions and you ask him what was his thinking behind that particular decision. The other questions about what does it mean to get a win, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I understand it's, he's not going to be there long and it's quick after the game, but to me, those were the questions that I wanted to hear asked. So hopefully I can get in a couple questions here in the Zoom opportunity. But I ask him about Fournette's usage, something I would want to ask him about, especially with a Liz Frank injury. How is he getting 29 touches and Rashad White? What did he get? 11, I think it is. Yeah. 3rd and 3 late in the game, the halfback draw, the 3 straight plays up the middle. What else would we ask him about in terms of?
I'd love to know why the team waits till their backs against the wall to go no huddle.
Go no huddle. That's a great question. We'll put that down as well. No huddle. And
I don't have any questions pertaining to his defense.
No,
I tell you that I got none.
No, I mean, and they score 16 points against you. McSorley's a third option. And the whole offense is built around Kyler Murray.
And 6 of those points, though, I mean, it's just Matt Prater having a boom of leg.
Oh, God,
I mean, the Bucs. I mean, I love Ryan Suckup.
By the way, at the end of the game,
he don't have that leg.
At the end of the game, I think it was I was watching a Cardinals game earlier this year, and the announcer, the sideline person said Prater was hitting them from 71. Yeah, actually, I saw a video. A TikTok video that he did against the kicking machine.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen this. It's crazy video, but he was hitting them from 70 yards. Like he was hitting them from 70. He has 70-yard range. Matt Prater does.
Oh yeah.
So he could have won that game if they'd have given him a choice and not been stupid at the end, which is also a theme.
Hey, trivia question. Do you know where Matt Prater went to school?
Matt Prater went to school at, let's say, Virginia. You're going to say UCF.
He went to UCF.
UCF, did he really?
UCF. I believe he was teammates with Brandon Marshall at UCF. So
wow.
There's your fun fact of the day.
Well, there you go. So, yeah. And so people ask, is Todd Bowles coming back? How in the world? I mean, from what we've seen here, how in the world can you bring Todd Bowles back?
It just seems like unless they don't win this division, they completely implode this next week against Carolina. Like he's going to get another year, it looks like, and probably with his own staff. I don't think any of it because Byron Leftwich is gone. Even worse than him, Keith Armstrong got to go. The special teams is a disaster.
Awful. Just awful.
Disaster.
Devin Tompkins, catch the ball. Why? And it was interesting because Collinsworth said, he goes, it's a play-by-play situation when Keith Armstrong is telling him to Is he telling them not to catch the football? Like, don't come up and catch it? Because if that's what we're doing here, what are we doing?
I mean, it's bigger than that. You got guys getting leaped over. I mean, you
that's just good play.
Can't make tackles.
That's Camarda. I mean, come on.
Well,
he saved, I think, 4 or 5 returns for touchdowns this year.
There's a lot of other guys in that punt coverage team, excluding like Zion McCollum's the only bright spot that just for whatever
Zion
reason
McCollum
can't do it.
When what's his name? Their return guy who's pretty damn good. When he caught the ball at the 1 yard line, Zion McCollum just went flying past him. That would have been a huge play if you would have been able to make that tackle right there. Break down and make the tackle, son, or at least touch him. Special teams are a disaster. But there again, it's like, nope, we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. We don't want to fire anybody. We don't want to pull somebody out in the middle of a series. That's his series. We don't want to call anybody out. We don't want to be rude. We don't want to make anybody feel bad. Not this team. We're polite. We're very, very polite. All right, let's take one more break, and then when we come back, we're going to look around the league and look at this Carolina game a little bit. How this is all or nothing for the Bucs now. It comes down to a Carolina team whose front office is tanking, and Steve Wilkes has screwed that up in a big way. What are you doing? You going to win the division? What the hell are you doing? All right, we're brought to you by Bay Area Modern Medical Center and the Jeeves Law Group. If you did not get what you thought you should get when your car was totaled from your insurance company, you probably have a case. Call the Jeeves Law Group and find out. It's a free call. Just go to JeevesLawGroup.com, JeeVes Lawgroup.com. Tell them JP sent you and find out. They remind you, do not drink and drive during this holiday season. The cops are out waiting for it, and you should do it anyway. It's the Jeeves Law Group. Stay with us. Back in 3. Merry Christmas. Santa Claus here for the Golden Diamond Source. All right, it's JP. The holidays are the best time for engagements, right? And where better to get that special ring than the Golden Diamond Source? They have the largest selection of engagement rings in the country, a jewelry superstore with 30 times the inventory of any normal jeweler. So avoid all the mall madness and the parking and all that BS and stay local, right? With the Golden Diamond Source, Julie and Steve Weintraub are the family jewelers, and they'll treat you like family. And of course, they do so many great things in the community. I was just at their Hands Across the Bay, a charity event. So many people stepped up to give money for these women that have been victims of domestic abuse. It is something to behold when these women come forward and talk about what Julie and Steve have done for them. And the Golden Diamond Source funds Hands Across the Bay, and so many other great companies jump in. That's what it's all about, community, right? So let's keep it local for the holidays. If you want a perfect gift for the holidays, you should check out the unique and beautiful handcrafted jewelry from the Emilique and Julieve collections that feature fashion-forward gold, diamond, and gemstone jewelry. And don't forget, for the holidays only, 3 to 5 year interest-free financing. It's a no-brainer for the holidays. It's the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Almerton Road, always online at theGoldenDiamondSource.com.
Are you concerned your spouse might be cheating, or want to locate a long-lost relative or love? Or a missing person and the police are not helping? An insurance adjuster who needs proof of injury. Hi, I'm Rachel D'Antonio from Tampa Bay's premier private investigation agency, Emerging Investigation. We have a proven track record of results. Local attorneys and insurance companies hire us to discover insurance fraud and crucial information in criminal cases. We can help in custody matters, and we devote a tremendous state-of-the-art technology and cutting-edge industry surveillance techniques to get you trusted results. Larger corporate agencies can be more expensive and do not offer the personal level of customer service and interaction that we pride ourselves on. We are a family-owned business. Our professional experience team includes my son, lead investigator Zach D'Antonio, a former collegiate athlete, and my daughter Emily, who leads our in-house investigations team. Don't take matters into your own hands by trying to install snooping programs on phones or GPS trackers. That can cause unneeded stress and give you inaccurate results. Go with the professionals at Emerging Investigations. We have proven results and tremendous testimonials from our satisfied customers. Call for a free consultation and we can discuss how we can help. Peace of mind is as valuable as bad news. Just go to our website, emerginginv.com, or call 813-291-FACT. That's emerginginv.com. We're Emerging Investigations. We get results in life's biggest matters.
Guys, let me tell you about Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Are you experiencing low sex drive, fatigue, hot flashes, moodiness, and you just don't feel like you have the vitality you once had? You're not just getting old, it's likely low testosterone. Studies over the last 20 years show a shocking decline in younger males aged 16 to 39. Older men have seen a sharp decline as well. Do something about it. Go see my friend Christopher Lugo at Bay Area Modern Medicine. Testosterone replacement is not a frivolous treatment. It takes a professional, targeted approach that focuses on total body wellness, vitality, and emotional stability. Not a one-size-fits-all approach like many clinics use. They will monitor your blood work and adjust your treatment as needed for optimal results. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. Tell them JP sent you for priority scheduling.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. I appreciate you all jumping in here on this day after Christmas. Hope you had a great Christmas. We are brought to you by the great folks at the Golden Diamond Source. After Christmas sale is going on, so if you got some gift cards, you want to go get something sweet at the Golden Diamond Source, why don't you go do that? They will be open today. Easy parking, about 20 minutes from downtown Tampa and South Tampa, just over the bridge, 3800 Ulmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. So go check out the after Christmas sale going on right now at the Gold and Diamond Source. Well, there's some other developments. So we're going to talk about this Carolina Panthers team, first of all, that'll be coming in here. Has not been flexed, right? So that's Sunday, 1 o'clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, 1 o'clock.
Please don't flex it. Please.
Yeah, it's not. So that's not going to happen. So it'll be nice weather, beautiful weather. Here comes a Panthers team that's won 4 of 6, ran for a franchise record 320 yards against the Lions yesterday. And the Lions were a hot team. I mean, their defense is no great shakes, but
we knew the Lions would screw this up somewhere.
Yeah, right.
They were just a little too hot, too hot going into playoff time.
But these numbers are eye-popping. The Panthers ran for 240 yards in the first half. A franchise record 320 yards. Chuba Hubbard 125 yards on 12 carries. Yikes. Chuba. And Deontay Freeman 165 yards on 21 carries. 570 total yards of offense. And this just in, Sam Darnold is now 3-1 as a starter, is running the ball very nicely too. Had a touchdown run yesterday on RPO, 4 times for 21 yards. This Panthers team is on a mission. Now they're 1-5 on the road, so they haven't been great. But now they're coming in here with a chance to beat the mighty Buccaneers and Tom Brady.
Win the division.
In their own house. And they're going to bully the Bucs with the running game. And last time when they beat the Bucs 21-3, they ran for 173 yards.
Yep.
The Bucs couldn't stop it. And that was with PJ Walker.
And was Vita Vea in the game? That game?
I don't know. I have to go back and check. But we don't know if Vita Vea is going to play this week either. He's had a calf injury. And he's I don't know how close he was to playing this week. They probably didn't want him to play anyway and knew they would need him against the Panthers and were resting him up. So that was good. But I mean, I'm sure the line is out. Let's play guess the line. Let me guess the line on this. I'm going to say Bucs, by the way, 3-11-1 against the spread now. Some idiot bet on them yesterday. I don't know who that could be. God, what a moron I am.
Oh man, I looked at the spread and I saw the spread for the first game. I jumped for a second. I thought it was this game.
The first game.
The first game, the Bucs were 12.5 favorites.
We lost 21-3. Oh my God. Let's say, how does Tom Brady score 3 points against the freaking Panthers? Unbelievable. So bad.
Wow.
So bad. I'm going to say the Bucs are favored by, maybe they've caught on by now, but I'll say 4.5.
They are 3-point favorites.
3-point favorites. So Vegas is saying it's an even game because 3 points for the home team. Wow. Seriously, folks, I don't know how you make a case for the Bucs to win this game after what we've seen, because they're going to get bullied in the run game. They're going to get bullied in the run game, whether Vita Vea plays or not. And then it's up, to Sam Darnold making up plays in the passing game. This Panthers defense is not bad. It's better than the Cardinals defense. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and they, this is also a Panthers defense.
And they're playing hard. They're playing hard for their head coach.
Yeah, that's the thing. And you turn on the tape. I remember watching the first Bucs Panthers game, and the first thing that jumped off the screen at me is like, damn, are they playing hard? They are just knocking people out.
Yeah, and they traded Christian McCaffrey, and it has literally mattered just not at all.
No, the running game's better.
The running game's gotten better without Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, running game's gotten better. The offense has gotten. The team's gotten better.
Yeah.
And they traded away Robbie Anderson. Their top 2 offensive players they traded away.
Yeah.
So essentially, the team was punting on the season. The front office was.
Yeah.
And fired the coach. Said Steve Wilkes, go get him. And that's exactly what Steve Wilkes has done. This team is playing their ass off for this head coach,
Yeah.
and that they're going to be inspired. And when have we seen the Bucs be inspired this year? When have we seen them play inspired football?
I keep asking, what's it going to take?
Exactly, because they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it.
I keep trying to sell myself on this game, like, hey, it's going to be at home. It's going to be a playoff. This is essentially a playoff game. It's going to be that type of atmosphere. New Year's Day, all the lights are. All the whole 9 yards, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're just waiting for them to screw it up somehow. It sounds crazy that it's Tom Brady versus Sam Darnold for the division, and Sam Darnold's coming in here playing better football than Tom freaking Brady.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm saying statements that I can't even believe I'm saying this year in regards to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers.
Now, the better defenses, as you noted earlier on, San Francisco held the Panthers to 57 yards?
It was the Steelers and the Ravens combined, 57.
Yeah.
Now, the Broncos were a really good defense in there that they were able to take advantage of, but still. Lions, Seahawks, and what was yesterday? Or no.
Yesterday was the Lions.
Lions, Seahawks, and Falcons. There you go.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard.
It's hard to pick them in any game right now.
It really is. And a team that's inspired, that runs the football well, and I don't know.
And if they lose the game and they lose on this division, if we're going to make a ranking of the most disappointing teams in NFL history, man, this is right up there with them. Yeah. ESPN had this team as like the number 1 favorite to make it to the Super Bowl.
That's right. They were in the top, and Vegas had the Buccaneers. I think at the beginning of the season, they were number 2 or 3 in terms of odds to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
To win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And like you look at historically teams that have gone from 30 points a game to 17, it's never been done before.
And look at the NFC, by the way. This is not the strongest crop of NFC teams that you're going up against. Mm-hmm. It's not.
No, this team, I pegged them for 10 wins at the beginning, 10, 11 wins in the beginning of the season. So 10, 11 below what their mark was set by Vegas. So they're going to get to, even if they win the last 2 games, they're going to get to 9 wins. And, I at this point, is it even worth making the playoffs? I think it is because like the Bucs have only had 10 home playoff games in their history. Yeah. So getting another one is a big deal. In 46 years, getting another playoff game, home playoff game.
And again, I'm just thinking, like, you play that game, it's going to be against Dallas most likely. It's like, is it going to be one of those situations where we're just we have false hope going in, and then there's half the stadium's filled with Cowboys fans and all these type of things. Like, I don't know. Those things I'm thinking about right now, like, if you ask if it's worth it, but I don't. Again, for a franchise that struggled to get to the postseason, regardless of how it looks like, you got to get in there.
Yeah,
you got to get in there.
Yep. Season's not over, so show up for your fans, if nothing else. Show up for your fans and the other players. If there's something going on with Brady or whatever, just put it away and just bond together for a little bit here and just go get them. Like, our Christmas is over. You got the win. Now you got 2 games left. Go out and kick ass. Because if they isn't this shocking? If they win this week against the Panthers, they can lose in the last week 18 and still get in. So they can rest all their guys. They can rest Vita Vea. They can rest whoever needs to be rested. Worse doesn't have to play.
In which game?
The Falcons.
The final game,
yeah.
If they win this one?
Yeah. If they win this one.
I don't know. I don't know if this team can afford to do things like that.
Well, they have to. You got to rest Tristan Wirfs.
Okay.
I would
bring it back up real quick.
What are they going to do? Get rusty?
Did you see him resting Leonard Fournette?
No.
No, I just think for a team that's just struggling to get anything going and continue it to the next game, I don't know if taking a week off is.
Well, the guys that need it, like Vita Vea, get off that calf. If he plays this week, get off the calf, give it a rest. Tristan Wirfs, get off the ankle, give it a rest.
Maybe some of those guys.
Yeah, those guys you don't play.
Most of the guys on the offense, I need you to play.
Yeah.
Because it's clearly that you just continue to, I don't know what you need, but maybe more, I don't know.
Well, maybe the Falcons cash it in and you get some, you actually score over 20 points and you get a little bit of momentum going into the playoffs. That would help. So you hit some big shots down the field.
End of story. It's like, get it done this week. You don't want to be going to Atlanta in that stadium against that team where you have to win. You don't want that to happen. So get it done this week.
Yeah. Other games around the league. The Bills clinched the AFC East with their win 35-13 over the Bears. So they're in. The Ravens are in. They beat the Falcons. The Packers suddenly have some life after beating the Dolphins.
They got
yesterday.
a path now.
Yeah, they got a path to the playoffs. Wouldn't we like to see them in the playoffs? Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Right. The Cowboys melted down the other day again.
Yeah, they won the game though.
Well, I mean, they're hemorrhaging right now. Their defense, which I thought was really, really good.
Well, they have days like this where like the offense carries the load and the defense stinks.
Dak's still turning it over.
Flips in some games.
Dak's still turning it over.
Dak played really good in that game though. That pick was an outstanding play by Josh Allen. Outside of that, I think that was his only incompletion in the first half. Was that pick? He played really well. I mean, they've scored 40 points or more since he's come back 4 times.
That's true. But
he's lost a few of the games for them because of his picks. The Jacksonville game and the Green Bay game.
He has more picks than anybody since he's come back.
Yeah,
he's got, including Brady.
He's got 4 games with double-digit picks.
Yeah,
since he's come back.
So hey, the Cowboys come here and maybe he throws 3 or 4 picks. Not that our guys are going to catch picks. God, can
Carlton Davis? That was a big play game.
Can you catch a freaking
big
ball?
Play early on.
Golly,
hit him right in the chest.
Right in the chest. Golly, he can't catch. That's really, really bad. All right, that'll do it for us today. We will be back tomorrow and jump on here with Todd Bowles and see what he has to say. And we'll have some more Bucs coverage, and we'll look. The Lightning are going to get back at it Wednesday and Thursday this week. They did not have a great game in Toronto, but we'll talk all about the Lightning and much more to get more into the bowl games, college football this week. So big week ahead. We'll be here with live shows all week long. So check us out here on the JP Peterson Show. Always find us on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, and on our app, FanStream Sports. Download it. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow.